All right. So last time, the group of you had got back to Rakmir, or were in Rakmir for a couple of days, and I think the most important thing you guys wanted to do is you got your armor fixed, Thoric, and you got your armor kind of reinvigorated, Loranak. Um, our investigator Hendrik went and talked with the Brass Shields, gave a detailed report, and kind of discussed the six-fingered man with the head overseer, justiciar overseer of the Brass Shields, and kind of said, "Leave the investigation to me. I'm a covert agent. One man is easier to fall by the cracks than others." And then kind of having the a good talk last time Torkel was present, agreeing to go back to the Sunless Citadel. You guys waited for the weather to break. Unfortunately, um, on the kind of start of the week, we had a little bit of a absolute horrendous thunderstorm of overcast and strong rainfall, which came. Still haven't broken fully out of the way of a springy rain just yet, and it just hammered it down for a long time. And knowing the natural environment and the dry arid region that you're in most of the time, um, your scout, your ranger fellow, Orly was able to think that possibly it wasn't good to travel because of muddy storms and quicksand and basically like just flash floods in the region because you guys are going overland and a lot of like draws and drainages and up and down slopes. So you waited a good couple days in Rackmere, kind of tending to yourselves. Now, specifically for Torko's character, Loranek undertook a bit of investigation on the address that was left in the kind of last notes of your uh, your tutor, Nathaniel Everstone, and he, through some very good rolls and thinking, determined that the street probably wasn't in the capital and wasn't in Rackmere, and it also wasn't in Oakheart from what he's able to tell. So that leaves a few options. The way the naming convention worked on the street, it just didn't seem to fit with what he knew and what he was able to look up. Orly researched dragons, the dragon tome that he found the first time you guys were around the Summit Citadel, and read about them, learning about wormlings and sizings and ages and all that kind of things. I'm good to get to give a sense of what possibly you're going to be dealing with when you head back to the Summit Citadel. And with that, you guys ventured out. You rode about a day and a half, all purchasing Heidels. I did not buy one for you, Torkel, so I've kind of like ethereally DM grabbed you and just moved you at the same pace,
Yeah.
walking with them. But the rest of the party all bought Heidels. Uh, Thoric had to buy basically a supersized Heidel, the two-headed lizard creatures, with one head like that of a chameleon, the other one with that of like a kind of semi-reptilian uh, uh, insect-eating, long-tongued beast. And now you guys have camped in a horrendous thunderstorm, got on some high ground. You have some little pockets of flash filling around you in the distance. You can see like deep, muddy rivers flowing down some slopes. But at around 2 a.m. during Loranek's watch, over the past 15 or so minutes, a absolutely horrendous rainstorm has just started to overthrow and come over your campsite. You guys have decided to kind of still fight against the callings of awakeness. But while Aranik was on watch, two shifting stones in your campsite seem to move. One with a faint blue orange light, almost like that of a slit of an eye, and another with an orange dim light on the other side of your camp, in between your two campfires. And now through this great thunderstorm, these boulders have moved. They are bipedal, three-armed, four-armed on the other one, and kind of like almost gracefully moving through the earth. They haven't like made any movements towards you, but in this moment, as the kind of the party and Loranek has kind of kicked Thoric awake, and you guys are kind of shuffling, so everyone except for Loranek is prone and unarmored, except for Gambesons if you have them on, so you can click them on, and I will take you guys to the map. Um, so
Okay, now that we're out of that,
yeah,
armadillos. That's what the other head looks like.
no, it's reptilian.
I mean, yeah, okay, armadillos have scales, but like the tongue and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a reptilian armadillo, anteater thing, and the other one's like a
Cool.
chameleon head. Yeah, so the rain is pouring down, and I believe all of you guys should have your dim light engaged. So there's light of the campfire for some of you, and you can see these two shapes, one to your southwest and one to your why does Orly have that vision? Dynamic lighting, nocturnal. Oh, I see. I might have fucked up here. Last sight. Never mind. That's fine. Vision dimming. Yeah, that's fine for Loranic. You can see that now because of the campfire. So yeah, campfire's here. Your hydals are tied up to the map's northwest, up into here. And what do you guys do? So Loranic, you're kind of first on your feet, but let's sort of an order of initiative, shall we? So people can make decisions. So why don't you all click on your tokens and we'll all roll initiative.
What the fuck?
Someone...
I rolled really well. God damn.
Right.
I rolled 17 for both of them. That's so funny.
Hold on.
There is some
Right.
thematic music in the chat.
Yeah, I've had it on. Something. Sorry, I'm not used to using my laptop for D&D.
That's fine. All right, I believe everybody has rolled. We've got Loranic, Hendrik,
Nope.
Orly,
Hang on.
and
Okay,
Oracle.
how do I
Oh.
minimize the pictures of people? Sorry to cut in, but you guys
The
know.
cogwheel on the right-hand side, if you go all the way on the
Yep.
bottom, I think there is, I think it's text chat options, and it's enable chat avatars. You want to click off, and then
Yeah.
might be miscellaneous. No, not miscellaneous. Device options, and I think you just need to refresh.
Okay.
So yes, so currently at the top of the order, Orly, it is your turn. You're prone, you're in your bedding, you have light armor, so you don't feel any effect of sleeping in light armor, so you got your light armor on. And what do? You can see these kind of strange stone shapes. They don't look immediately like fist raised, going to like barely run at your party, but they're strange and unknown. And you have a few seconds to kind of compose yourself before you decide what to do.
Okay, I see one close by, and
Yes,
I
correct.
would have
Yeah.
heard the other maybe, or do I not know there's another?
You can kind of see the shimmering lights of like about 60 feet away at the very edge of your light, the very edge of the camp light, like grey kind of shapes of stone standing about 10 foot tall.
And what direction is that? So the one closest to me is northeast. Oh,
Here.
it's southwest. Okay.
Southwest, yeah.
Okay. The fire is lit. Yeah.
The fire is still lit, yeah. But there's like kind of as the noise and things like that hit against it.
Okay. And they don't look at yeah, no, they don't look aggressive currently. They're only kind of like shaping themselves at the moment.
They're kind of malforming from the rocks. The standing stones that were once here when you camped, they are now reforming themselves in these bipedal. They're not fully complete yet. They're still kind of like there's this cracking of stone and earth and mud reforming into like joints and appendages and legs and all these things.
I understand. I only have a few seconds here to kind of make a move. Is there? Does it look like we're in the I can't English right now. Does it look like there's anything around us that we could be disturbing, or is it like could it look like we're doing something in their territory? Essentially?
I will say make an Arcana check.
An Arcana check. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What
These
a
are
nature? No, no.
Oh shit.
20. With a 20, so this area itself, these standing stones, this is a high ground. You for whatever reason know a little bit about earth elementals. Very good roll. You get the sense that these creatures, from the way they're acting, this isn't like an attack. What you get the sense of, these creatures, earth elementals are not allowed to move, or are physically impossible for moving over flowing water. So they have came this high ground to seek shelter from the water. And with that, it seems that the storm, this electromagnetic lightning pulse, the rain has seemed to have like kind of awakened them, and they are reacting to the storm's presence, not that of your own.
Okay. I will use my, because I've taken a lot of time to do all of this up to this point.
Mhm.
I will use my turn,
Mhm.
include my movement, all of that, to kind of like tell the group essentially what's happening essentially.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys get a quick scatter shot of that. They're not harmful. You know, they're reacting to the storm. It's not us. They're not here. They're not attacking us. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. Is that the end of your turn, Orly?
Yeah.
All right, Hendrik, it is your turn. Then the creatures are going next.
I was gonna cast Fireball. Now, let's see. I got a couple good spells, but I don't want to start shit. Shit doesn't need to be start. What's the light level like right now?
You are your race, and what you can see is what you can currently see. There's brief flashes of lightning in the sky above,
Okay.
illuminating the area around you within about 100 foot.
Oh,
But
we have a
what you can see
fire
is what you
there
can see.
too. Okay.
You have a campfire right in front of you. Yeah.
I'm going to stand up. I think that takes half my movement,
Half your movement. Yeah. Get out your bedroll. Yeah.
and I'm going to. I'll go over the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. I'll just go here and then here. That's the rest of my movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I just give Lyranok a pat on the shoulder and say, "You're up, Lyranok."
Very well. All right. The first creature, the one from the bottom, is going to use all of its movement to advance 10, 15, 25, 30 feet to here. The second creature is going to use its movement of 30 feet to 10, 15, 25, 30. And the two of them are going to use their action to coalesce. You watch as the two of them meet forms, and this kind of like this earth-like gliding through the mud. They don't shake the earth as they walk. They kind of shift sand and stone, but quietly, undisturbing the ground. And as they meet, one is slightly taller than the other one's short and has 3 arms, and they kind of like just slowly walk into each other. And it's over the course of their turn into Thoric's turn, it's hard to tell where one of these creatures that walks it begins and the other one's or ends when the other one begins. It's this strange like mud cracking stone breaking, and it's very weird. It if you think of like a bubbling pile of mud and stone, like from an oil well getting burst, it's kind of like that, but big heavy stones are moving. And Thork, it is your turn.
Right.
DM, sorry, could I? My turn. I didn't use my action.
Uh-huh.
I meant to pass guidance on Lyranok, and I didn't verbalize it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it
Yeah,
okay
you
if
cast
I?
guidance
Okay.
on Leonok. Yep. Thork, it is your turn. And then Torkel next, and finally Leonok.
Okay. Thoric, in his Gambison and all that, he is going to grab the new shield Tyranny
Mm-hmm.
and use it's an action to put on the shield, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Going to put on that shield
Mm-hmm.
and stand at the ready with his hammer.
Okay. Very well. Torkel, it is your turn. Leonok next, and then new initiative.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to maybe ready. If you hold a spell, you burn the spell slot if the next thing doesn't happen, right?
Correct, yes.
Mm,
But if you do finish this, if you whatever happens here, but if you guys finish your long rest, you'll still get all your spell slots back. So don't feel like you're going to go in the next day with whatever spells you use here. But that's only if you do manage the long rest after this happens.
okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think Torko will just use his action to grab his mace
Mhm.
and You.
Shield. Cool. Very well.
Yeah.
You stand up. You get ready, much like Thoric. Leonok, you're next. The first one on watch, but was the slowest to react to this.
I mean, yeah, get used to that, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing he's going to do, he's going to very slowly, sort of hands with his hands up, or at least as much as he can whilst holding the shield, and he's going to move to there, and just sort of mention, as a complete long shot, 'cause even Lyranux doesn't know or has no indication that they actually speak common, but this is will bring up. We mean you no harm. We are only here to rest from the storm, just like yourselves, I believe.
Mm-hmm. No.
And that's going to be his entire turn.
Okay. Top of initiative. Orly, it is your turn. Hendrick's up next.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
They're still coalescing into one another. They're kind of like almost like phase walking into each other into one shape.
I mean, one walked right by me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it staring at me, or was it
It
kind of?
totally ignored you. The light that seemingly whatever eye socket it had did not even look at your party or the campfire.
I'm still lying
focus
down. I'm
on
going
the
back to
creature.
sleep.
Right, okay. Okay, that's your turn.
Yeah.
Hendrick, you're up next. And it's the creatures.
I am going to move 5 feet this way.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna grab my bedroll and I'm gonna drag it over here.
Brilliant. I love that. All right. Is that your turn, Hendrick?
Give me. I guess I have a tent, so I'll just set. I'll bring that. Sorry, I'll grab my tent and drag it over. I think that's all that I can offer right now. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. That's it. That's my
Okay.
turn.
Both the creatures are going to take a simultaneous turn. So what happens is they form into this kind of what was once a 10-foot shape and an 8-foot shape is now about a 20-foot towering single spout of earth, of roiling and boiling rock and stone and mud, getting slick with rain. And you see that there's kind of this high-pitched whine as a single ironish metallic rod sticks out from the top of them. And with that, you watch as soon as kind of bright ironish metallic shape appears. It's rough, it's uncut. A lightning bolt strikes into it, and the structure that once these two creatures immediately explodes and shatters everywhere. I need Lyranok and Orly, Thoric. Yeah, actually, physically, no. Yes, Hendrick is the only one who doesn't make a dexterity saving throw because he moved away.
Who doesn't?
You're the last one who does not need to make a
Cool.
dexterity saving
Oh
throw. Everyone
boy,
else.
deck saves, my favorite.
Surely I have disadvantage. I'm lying down trying to
You're
fall
actually
asleep.
you're lying down. I would say you have a probably advantage because you're lying down because it's flying debris everywhere.
Fair one.
Thoric.
We are a dexterous bunch, clearly.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Thoric and Torkel and Lyranok, all of you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as the stones spit everywhere and fly. Stoty, you take, or Orly, you take 5. They immediately explode, bust, lightning bolt shatters their forms. They are just destroyed. Can all of you give me a perception check, please?
Sure thing. Just flat perception?
Just flat perception, yeah. With campfire still lit. 5.
Ow,
You
my
got
eyes!
you got a tiny pebble in like the corner of your left eye that's just not coming out. Like fuck.
Oh, that is the worst.
Yeah. I would actually say probably the campfire gets blown out with the force of it. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why can't I grab the campfire? Oh, it's a token. Oops.
It's really cool that the rain's like active as well. Thematic.
I do not know why that is not happening. Anyway, I can't turn on the campfire for whatever reason. So it explodes. So Torkel and Hendrik, you two see that the metallic rod that struck the lightning in the bright flash, you guys kind of immediately, there's a white flash bang of a silhouette image. When you blink your eyes, it's still there. And you see that where that rod was of raw iron, there was a slight tinge of yellow, a light. And now as you blink and you turn away from the explosion of dust and matter gone everywhere, descending from that height of 20 feet is a small yellow stone gem that is currently slowly floating down to Earth. As the rest of your allies are reeling from the blow of debris, it's at 20 feet, and then 15, and then 10, and then whatever
we move?
material, whatever force was slowly holding it suspended in the air, it just drops to the earth and lands in the debris of the two earth elementals from where they exploded.
I'd like to go investigate
would-
the gem.
While
What?
Torkel is reeling from the fragmentation blast that I'm going to scurry over.
Okay, the
Yeah,
two
okay.
of you scurry over to the remains of the creatures.
I'm just giving you shit, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find the kind of, there's almost a little bit of a slight crater of a couple inches of where the creatures that came together stood, and you see a small, about the size of like a small rock that can fit in the palm of both your hands, a burning hot yellow gem. It's like kind of like burning off pieces of rains that land on it.
I put my hand out in front of Torkel and just say, "Don't touch it yet." Hold on. DM, would can I roll some sort of knowledge to
Make an Arcana check?
see if I recognize this thing?
Yeah, make an
Could
Arcana.
is it very clearly inherently magical? It's not like a natural element or anything like that, right?
For the moment right now, what you just saw was very magical happening.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Torkel's probably this probably extends outside of Torkel's realm of comfortable knowledge, so I'll defer to Hendrik.
Okay. Yeah, Hendrik, make an Arcana check.
I'm checking if guidance works for like skill checks. Because it's an ability check. Is skill check an ability check?
I think
Oh
so.
god, this is
Same
only
thing.
5.5 to clear it up.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
'cause-
Yeah, I'll say yeah, guidance on
I'll
the
do-
skill check.
Okay, I'll double check it later. Okay, I'll cast guidance on myself,
Mhm.
and yeah, we're good there.
Wow, 25. 28.
28.
Okay, so
I
in your
don't care
various
to roll this well, guys.
in your various dealings of magic, there's arcane magic, which you've studied and know that that's the enemy, and then there's divine magic. There's a third magic, and that is the magic of the natural world, the ones that druids tend to use and these elementals spawn from. It's very much a kind of like, it's not so important, it's not very top, but you paid attention in those kind of instructorial classes. And what you have just witnessed is a strange phenomenon in which some elemental creatures have existed in one form or another for such a length of time, or wish to be changed, and they have sought out a way with other natural elements around them to basically be destroyed and reformed. And the instrument, the gem that you're sitting before in front of you, is the base, kind of almost birthstone of an earth elemental that someone would be able to use to conjure one.
Conjure one?
Yeah,
As in, they can use this to summon one?
correct. This is like,
In
if
order
you
to
want to think of it
summon,
like
do
an
you
embryo.
have to have. In order to summon, would it have to be like a druid or some other natural magic? Or could Lyranok?
It's a Pokeball.
It is. You're not with the 28. I'll say that this is, you would put your will into it, and an earth elemental will appear under your command. But it is a one-time use, and it is gone.
Okay, I'll once it stops steaming with the rain hitting it, I will pick
Over
it
the
up.
course of a minute, it slowly cools down to a point where you can probably touch it in your gloved hand. And yeah,
Yeah.
you have an elemental gem. It's a yellow kind of
I'll
diamond shape.
explain to everyone. I'll explain to everyone what it is. I don't know who should have this. We'll decide in the morning. It's late.
Okay. You guys want to go back to long rest then?
What it is.
Yep.
I never
Yeah.
stop.
Put her back to sleep. Yeah, I'm assuming Lyric will probably just stay on watch for the last bit.
Yeah, and then there'll be another. I think it'll be someone else next. Torque will last or something like that.
Sure.
And then
I'll go next. I'm up
Okay.
and I have this orb to ponder.
he has a orb upon it. All right, cool. So with the rain, you guys have bivy tents and like little poles and stuff like that. You guys can put up to obscure the storm. And I think that you could kind of pin yourselves up against some of the rocks to get a bit of a shelter. All right, okay. With that, the next hour and a half of your watch, Lyric goes without fault, and now it is Hendrick's watch. Hendrick, give me a perception check, please.
I will happily give a perception.
15. The rain, lightning keeps up a constant pace. It browns and soaks and eventually puts out the campfire you guys had lit. And with that, the next couple hours, next 2 hours, and then in a little bit, you wait for dawn at around 6 a.m. and it is still raining. It is a pounding rain. There's a gale from the east, and it's got that kind of, you're slightly high up. It's about 13, 14 degrees Celsius, but with that rain, it cools you down a little bit. And with that, I will just end this music. But you, because of your venturing and going on further, you are around about a couple hours journey to the start of the Sunless Citadel. And you wake up that morning. You guys can all hit the long rest button. You all recover your spell slots, all your hit points, all that stuff. So anyone who took damage there, use the spell slot, you recover all of that. So yeah. Your Heidels are unstartled by the lightning strike. They didn't run in the dark, didn't run away.
Today I learned there's a long rest button, guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been doing everything manually.
All right. So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, I had hoped that this cursed rain would stop, but we should carry on.
Agreed.
I agree. Let's make some haste.
DM, I have a question about this elemental thing.
Yes.
Is it illegal?
No, not necessarily. It's a creation of the natural world, not of arcane. There was a world of magic. This is unknown by scholars. There was magic in the world that was understood at the same time the gods came to exist. It is not arcane. It is not of arcane means of piercing beyond the veil, but is also not supplied by heaven. It is
Okay.
It is different, but it is not illegal.
So is it like anything man-made is kind of illegal then, is it? Magic-wise?
So,
Arcane is a distortion.
Arcane. So there's the magic of heaven, which comes from the gods, from following the gods' demands, and your religion of the 12 divines. You believe that there's a heaven created for you by God. There is a mandate you must follow in life to obtain, blessings and visions and all these things as well. But it is not a religion. It is not a culture of religion that denies that there are other powers within existence, because that is physically and spiritually true. There are dark gods, there are evil gods. And what they equate arcane magic to is that it is unnatural magical power which cannot be explained and thus should not be used. Whereas in druidic magic and elemental magic is from a primordial soup of creation that the gods, they believe, that the 12 gods believe, they have molded that within themselves and within heaven to create order. So it's if you think of godlike power and divine power in a stream which is cut off from elemental magic. That's the way that's kind of understood, because through all of the learned and all that stuff as well, some people believe and theorize there was a time before the gods took true consolidation of consolidation of magic within this realm. And the way that, if you think of, as I said, elemental magic comes from like a stream of all magics, they believe that arcane magic is not part of the stream, it's from something else. It is something ethereal and unknown and should not be tempted or understood. It does not come from elemental, which is older, and it does not come from heaven, which has kind of been adapted from elemental magic. So people like druids aren't like discriminated against or called arcane casters. It's just an older, more unrefined way, I would say, of understanding things.
Okay.
That's the way they would see it. They would see it as, looking at the bone clutches when you toss them on a floor to read the margins, or understand the future. They would see that as basically unrefined, and it can be deadly understood if you follow the way of God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, understood.
So, why doesn't somebody make? Do you guys? I guess you're questing on to head to the entrance of the Sunless Citadel.
I think we're making a move, yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me a survival check then, please, to navigate, because it has been raining. It is currently still heavily raining. 22. Orly, you remember the path very well. You head past the part of the road where you found those dead Heidels where the original party you went to rescue you got to. Like you found it in a bit of a draw, like a bit of a drainage. That part of the road is like about a good 3 or 4 feet under like a muddy, soupy, flowing fast river. And you have to like go around on the high ground with those rocks and like lead your beasts through the rocks where you kind of encountered that scout around that bit. But it's not long until you hit the ravine, start of the long ravine which winds for a couple miles, and you approach the old road which did lead to Sunless Citadel. You see the tall standing stones and broken pillars, and the sturdy knotted rope that you guys saw is missing, gone. You probably removed it, or somebody else removed it. But yeah, you find the entrance to Sunless Citadel. Yeah.
Well, I think we can just carry on and climb in. Hopefully, we can get out of this rain.
Are you? Yeah, it is still raining heavily, and there's an occasional rumblings of thunder. It's dim and dark and grey and overcast. Are you guys climbing down? Or are you going to set up a rope system to get down this time? Because I think you guys climbed down last time.
There was,
No, last time we brought a rope.
There was
Last
there
time we
was
brought
a rope here last
Yeah,
time.
there was an old rope. Yeah. It's gone now.
What do we do with the Heidels before we actually decide here?
Time up, they'll be fine. We're not gonna be gone for days.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We don't have like feed bags or anything like that for them, do we?
Oh, we do actually, yeah.
They
Just
feed
plants and
themselves.
stuff. There's
They
plants,
feed
stuff, and
themselves.
insects.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
They like kind of like they do a bit of like foraging for like insects and like small mammals.
Fucking killing those little like desert mice.
Yeah, just have a bag of hamsters to feed them. It's fine.
Yeah, cool. I think I have rope, right?
I've got a
we
rope.
have
I'm
one.
happy to do either with whatever decision we make.
Yeah, let's set up a rope and climb down. Probably the
Okay.
easiest
Sounds good.
thing to do.
That is the best decision, because last time you guys had climbed, it was not slick and wet stone. So thanks to your rope setting it up, the party comes down the stairwell where it kind of doubles back itself, goes down a couple levels, and the rats, the corpses that were there, are gone. I'll drop you guys into the bottom of some citadel. There is a fetid, wet smell. You get the sense that even though this is a long ravine crack in the earth, drainage and water smell, it adds like a mustiness to it, that you guys didn't experience the first time you were here. And I believe you should all see your tokens at the bottom right of the map.
Yes, sir.
Why can't I see them?
Shit. I need 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
No
As we
problem.
can see, Orly has stepped directly into the pit.
Yeah, that trap is don't worry. I would say you guys would avoid that. Drag that way. Cool.
Righty. All right.
Yeah. So is anyone taking charge going through forward?
Yeah, I'll lead the way because it's I tried the route back here, so I'll push the door open and push it.
It was already open, so you can step through.
I will step through.
I
You
will
notice
be
the
side by
bodies.
side.
But I was just going to say, as you step in the room, the bodies of the goblins, even though they're on the map, they are no longer there. They are gone.
Side note, Sean, have you healed your character back up to full from the thing?
Oh yeah, from the lodge, from the long list. Hold on. I have now.
You two as well, Larry, and I'll heal up. And Orly.
Door 1, door 2. Is that? Wait, is that a door?
That's a door as well, yeah.
Yeah. Can I make some form of intelligence check or survival check to see if I can remember which way we came initially?
What's your intelligence score?
My intelligence is 15.
Yeah, you used this door last time.
Yep.
You did not go through this door.
We never went through it.
No.
We're here to do something. I'm going to push through this door here.
Okay. Alright. This wooden door moves. And you see the hallway that you recognize before you.
Alrighty. I will wait for my party.
I'll move Orly up. Don't worry.
So when
might
we
be worth-
interact with the dragon, we agreed that Lyranok and Thork are going to be the ones to talk to the dragon, right?
We agreed that Thorik's going to be the first attempt at contact. He seems to have a good relationship with it.
Yeah, we're going to feed into its racial prejudices, and then after that, we're going to go with people who can speak well.
Yeah, basically.
Hmm.
It's it might be worth calling out, making it clear that we are not here as. Well, we're not trying to be hidden and sneak our way through.
Okay. Yeah. Should we just start shouting hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
As good as any.
the kobolds like us, so
Kobolds. Hello. Anybody there?
You're just speaking out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know the part of the kobold tongue that is draconic. You guys in this southern dialect speak parts of draconic, and you're able to understand them, and they're able to understand you, at least to a point. All right. So you got a door in front of you. What do you do?
Check it for traps.
Sure. Make investigation check.
Probably
You feel it is not trapped.
I will open the door.
You open the door in front of you, and you see the dragon-like pit, the dragon tamer's pit, where the cage once was, still destitute. But you see 3 kobolds in front of you immediately with their slings ready, and there's a moment of recognition on you, and then they speak in draconic. They go, ah, and they just kind of make this weird noise at you. You don't recognize.
Oh, okay. I will say hello. The kobolds that we have returned. We have returned so that we can speak to the dragon. Could you please lead us to him? Then.
What's the password?
please.
Do we? Can I?
I announce please, as if that's the password.
Mighty Meepo, say traveler must know password to go through.
Mighty Meepo. Is the
Meepo.
password Meepo?
They kind of look at each other. No, password not Meepo.
What's the dragon's name?
Can you
Can
tell
anybody
Meepo
remember?
that can you tell Meepo that the group of friends that helped him through to fight the goblins are back? I want to say hello.
Make a persuasion check, Thoric.
Nice.
Did they say mighty Meepo?
Yes.
And like that
Guess
was
who's
them
going
saying
to
it, not
use his?
Meepo.
Guess who's going to use his daily to try and make that an 11.
Okay, an 11. Use your daily ability to make it 11. So there's a bit of hesitation. There's 3 of them are still holding their slings, and the one on the furthest left gets a kick from the one in the middle. Go tell Meepo. Go tell Supreme Meepo.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Things have changed while we were
What's
gone.
happened, bro?
All right. So this one runs with his little clawy feet and runs away.
It sounds like there's been a change of leadership while we were away. Is it now Meepo that commands this group?
Either
You saying this
something
to the
really
kobolds?
good happened or really bad happened.
Any of the above?
Okay. Yeah. You're asking this to the kobolds?
Yes.
They they're not like at the ready with slingshots, but still have them in their hands and still holding the other stone in the hand, and just go, "Oh, will be known when Meepo says it is time for you to know. Just
Thank you.
wait."
Okay.
So a few minutes go by. The original kobold comes back, joined by company by a kobold in stitched together pieces of plate and pots and pans with a shield in its hand and like leather garb, and it walks up and it takes a look. Goes, "Oh, I recognize them. Meepo will want to see. Come, follow." The other two kind of
Thumbs
stand
up.
back at the corner.
That sounds like permission.
All right, let's go.
I'm the tiniest bit afraid. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll be fine.
It's less with Meepo in charge. It's less a matter. We're less scared of intentions and more scared of like competence.
Okay, let's see. Okay. DM,
Yeah.
while we are traveling,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna just say, hold on. We got learn on Thoric. Hold on one second. And I'm going to cast a spell. I'm gonna cast
Mhm.
Enhance Ability
Mm-hmm.
with Twin Spell
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
with charisma based on both of them. For the next hour, you guys have advantage on any checks that involve charisma.
Wow.
Banking,
Yeah,
yeah.
these kobolds are pretty dumb. They don't realize you're casting spell on them.
Yeah, I don't want to do it in front of the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So you come into the great dragon-like hall with the pillars and everything like that in front, and you see 2 flying kobolds like hovering in the air, flapping their wings. And at the long end of the hallway, you see this one here that was like kind of heavily armored goes to stand beside the kobold that is on the chair at the far end of the hallway. The throne that you recognize. So obviously this is dimly lit. There's no light sources here. This creature's all seeing dark light and all these things. So for you guys, as you head down the hallway, you see more kobolds. A couple of them have this kind of strange, like they have these kind of baskets and caskets and little bags around them, and they're standing all in this kind of hall. And you see what was Yggdrasil, or Yggdrasil, the previous leader, is no longer there. It is Meepo sitting on the throne, wearing the same kind of like grey robe, but he has this scepter which has a stick on it and a small little blue gem at the end of the stick. And he is sitting there and explicitly, as Maisie stands up, goes, "Oh, friends, it is good to see. Good to see. You travel well, you still alive?"
Yes, very alive. Glad to see you sitting up there, Meepo. I'm sure
Yes,
the tribe is doing well under your leadership.
try very good, very good.
Karlak says much, tells me much to do. We have made things better for Kobold down here.
That sounds fantastic. Would it be
No
possible
more
for us to...
goblin. Goblins all gone. Thanks to you. We drive them. We find them in cave. Kill them. No more goblins coming back to Citadel.
Oh god.
Well, what's a little bit of ethnic cleansing between friends?
want them to do. God
The
damn
women
it!
and the children too. I killed them all. The women, the children.
Well, we tried. Doesn't think the law should be applied to kobolds or goblins. Ah, they're above the law. Gotcha. Is it possible for us to talk with the dragon?
Meepo. I, as Supreme Sorcerer of Calrax, they rest. They eat, need sleep. I am one in charge while dragons sleep. This is the way. Silly Usual wanted to use dragon. A dragon not to be used. Dragon is to be leader. And I second leader.
What happened? Sorry. What was the name? Yusdrel.
Usdrel. Yeah.
Yusdrel. And what is it that's happened to Yusdrel?
Dragon ate him.
Par for the course, or well, whichever course the meal that was.
Holy shit, that was amazing.
They're not going to. He's going like letting out a sigh, just going.
It is great honor as kobold to be eaten by dragon. We return to the belly of the dragon, and we become matter. We become the lightning.
And with that, can all of you guys make a perception check, please?
Okay.
Why there's a
Oh,
fucking
dear.
dragon here already, isn't it? God damn it.
Fucking okay.
10.
God, can I roll like above a 6, please?
This is
So Hendrik and Lyranok are the only two to spot this. But
Oh my
last time
God.
you saw these kobolds, they were this dusty brown cave, like reddish tinge, and you see at the tips and closest parts of their scales to their flesh, they've started to turn this cobaltish blue, very subtly.
Oh no.
Aha.
The dragon is changing them.
And Meepo is the one that has changed the most. You see that his kind of snout and above his eyes there have turned the deepest blue. And this is very hard to spot because you guys are mostly using dim light, and there's not so much a light source. I think Thork is the only one that has a light source with the spell. So this is like kind of a hard thing to spot. So that's what the two of you see.
Aha. Well,
Hmm.
there is something that we were hoping to try and trade with the dragon. Would you be willing to?
Eyes open up and
Yes, dragon wants stuff. Dragon wants much of stuff, much of things.
Indeed. You are very correct. So, you said you are second in command? Would you be able to talk with us about that, or do we
I
talk to
can
Jack?
listen to offer and say to the great Kalrax, and he will tell what they want. And I will tell you if good enough or not good. I know, I see that dragon offer you shield you wear now. You are honored dragon. You are tall, taller than us. Dragon light, speak highly. We will see. What trade does tall dragon kin bring?
Yes, precisely. So firstly, just let me talk to my friends for a moment, if you would so kindly allow. And I turn to Lyranok and I go, What the fuck can we trade for the fucking thing?
Well, our offer was, I believe the initial plan was to see if he was willing to take back the shield. Return for
Okay.
the breastplate.
Okay. I run 20 feet back to talk with Torkel because he's back there for some reason.
Oh,
And
sorry.
and I go, we're going to be trading the shield. Is shield for the breastplate? That seems about right. Is that good with you?
You- I would prefer that we did not to have to give something up that is useful for you, but if you are okay with it,
He's
and
not.
this
I
is
don't think he's just going to give it to us.
no, I
Um,
know. I was hoping we could trade services, but if it needs to be the shield, it must be the shield.
Services. Okay, I'll mention that. I run 20 feet back up.
I follow behind the beloved closer and closer. I can't keep staring at kobolds as they're flying and being that off put by them. He's muttering under just muttering to himself about fucking leaving things to run their own course. God damn it!
Yeah, the Thoric and it says, yes, we wish to trade for a particular piece of armor that he has. Whether we do a task for them or we can trade something such as the shield.
Meepo. Yes. Oh. Oh, okay. Big job for Meepo. As Speaker of Calyrax, I must go and tell him you come to offer service to Great Dragon. Shields! Dragon shields! Stay here! Keep an eye, winged ones, on them. And Meepo steps down off his throne, and you realize that he's a slightly smaller kobold than what Yuzrael was. So like the big garb that he has looks fine on him, but once he starts to like walk down the steps of the throne, he kind of falls over himself and has to catch himself before fully tumbling down the little step. And then the garb is like a little bit too overstretched for him as he kind of walks past you guys and walks to this door here and opens this door and goes through it. Yeah, he leaves. He's gone. It's just you guys in a room full of a bunch of kobolds.
There you go. I found the art.
Our tension's high with the other kobolds.
The two that stand beside Meepo on the throne, you get the sense their job is to guard, and they're going to guard. The winged ones that are flying above you and kind of flapping up and down the hall seem a bit more curious about you. And the two that kind of have these boxes and crates, like little manacles around their belt loops, they look a bit more like kind of collectors. They seem to be intently staring at all your armors and jewels and like weapons
Yeah.
and things like that, like coveting them.
Don't
They're
know whether
beware of
we're in danger or
pickpockets.
not.
I don't think we're endangered as of yet.
I think
But I think that
we're at
could
a
probably
higher risk of
change. I think we're on the precipice of danger.
Yeah.
we're at a higher risk of being pickpocketed than of being hurt.
We'll see if leading with the services was a.
I mean,
Yeah.
plan A is services, plan B is shield.
Okay.
Because we don't want to only say the one and then try to fumble saying, "Oh, we can use the shield." But if we put it up front, then it's an option. It gives them more
Well.
feeling of control. This
Hmm.
advantage
Thork.
to charisma is definitely helping.
I think we're gonna. It's gonna be up to Thork to seduce the dragon.
Again, I mean, what?
Okay. All right. 5 minutes go by. 10 minutes go by. Meepo hasn't returned.
Maybe it ate him.
What do
Maybe.
you guys do in the
Entirely
meantime?
possible. Trying to think if there's anything we need to do. I think we're still.
Yeah, I'm gonna worry, like slightly, but that's about it.
Just before 15 minutes come by, the door opens back up and Meepo reappears.
And he walks past you guys and goes and sits back up on his throne. Dragon has spoken, has told Meepo what want. Do you want hear tale? Listen. Yes.
Oh, definitely, Meepo. Tell us the tale.
Dragon think. Dragon offend that you return thing that he gave. Hurt. But he willing to forgive, transgress. Word he say, big word. I do not know mean. Calrax has family. Has dragon family. Dragon family is complicate. Not like kobold. We know our place. We know order. Smart ones say smart things. Strong ones do strong things. Not so for dragon. They all think smart. They all think scary and strong and powerful. But Calrax strongest among sibling, among brethren. He know this. He feel it. He knows there is a clutch sibling, clutch kin nearby, and is no threat to him and this tribe. He is worried that this sibling will come and take what is his. He wants you to go and kill sibling. It is in a lair far from here. Few days across the other side of the river. What he say? But I know from what Kalrak said that this sibling is known by that of Kalrak's mother, that of Ba Razir, great honored blue dragon. But Kalrax want lair to build, want this in honor of Ba Razir, but is afraid of sibling that will come and take it and gift to Ba Razir. They must go, and if done, Ba Razir will have to select Kalrax as next chosen kin of son of her to be prime chosen. This is how dragon work. Dragons pick upon each other. Unlike kobold, kobold live to serve. You understand? Yes. Kill dragon.
Yes, I understand. It was a fantastic tale. Please allow me 1 second while I talk with my friends. And I turn back to the others and go, are you willing to kill a
I
dragon?
would not wish to end a life for something so mundane as a breastplate. We do not know currently if that dragon is any threat or to anyone around it.
Okay, Orly, Torkel, step over here. Hendrik,
It is. mm, It could be uncomfortable for those who are in this area if we provide all this power to Carlax. But I take umbrage at the description of this chestplate as being mundane. It is a masterwork that I very much wish to recover. These dragons are vying for control of this area, it seems. At some point, they will become a problem.
Yeah, I agree. That's what's on my mind. I think for now, whilst we're here, surrounded by the new reformed kobolds, that we agree, at least. We can have a longer discussion about this when we're out of their reach, I guess.
Yeah, we can agree, but not necessarily fulfill it immediately.
We also need
I
to know
agree.
where the other target is, because if the target is outside of this realm and is within the diplomatic realm of the big fuck off dragon, then we can't do it. It'd cause war.
He said it was
On the s-
across the river.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's within our lands.
Yeah.
Within
Okay.
these lines.
Are we right in saying
I
that?
think it
Like,
by
Cypher,
across
do
the
we have
river
enough?
is like across the bridge. Yeah.
Like, do we have enough
Uh,
general, like, geographical knowledge to know that
So
across the
the
river?
Sunless Citadel, if you look at Legend Keeper, the Sunless Citadel sits like oh shit, I never showed you guys. Sorry guys. And the Sunless Citadel is right there. I'm sorry, forgive me. The pin is right beside the Slumbering River. And
Beside where, sorry?
the Slumbering River, like if you
Slumbering
look at
River.
Rachmate,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where Sunless
So it's
Citadel is.
like towards the Slumbering Bluff and the Desolate Badlands.
Yeah, somewhere in around in there. From what you remember of Oathdrag's flight, and what he said that he had to avoid certain winds to get down here, and that Barrazir is somewhere near the Slumbering Bluff.
So it sounds like we're going
it's
away
entirely
from there.
possible that this other dragon could be within the territory of Barrazir.
Oh.
It's entirely possible.
God, I was hoping he meant like up north, as in that side of the river, but
Yeah.
like if there's arid expanse has lies as gap, also other side of the river, but okay. We could always offer to remove the dragon as a threat to Karax, but you don't necessarily have to go with killing.
Orly, make a nature check with advantage since you read that book, or history check
Oh,
with
yeah,
advantage
yeah,
since you
yeah.
read that book. Yeah.
History,
Either history or
history.
nature, whichever one you want.
Sure thing.
21. All right. From the sounds of it, from what you've heard, because you understood this language, they speak in Draconic, you understand this. For Calrax to be worried about the other dragon, taking on his territory, you get the inference that probably the dragon's older than him, would probably be larger than a wormling, but not quite an adult.
Hmm.
So in the calculations that you have, it'd be easier to take on Calrax than it would be whatever other dragon on a 1-to-1 fight, but you don't know what other. You know what the
It is
layers
most
of
certainly
those
not
are.
going to be 1-to-1 here. Probably more like
No.
5 to 50.
Yeah. See, my to the group, we haven't heard. We haven't heard of this other dragon being a
No, you
problem
haven't. This is
to
the
the
first time.
citizens. This is the first time. I realize nobody probably knows of Calrox here, and we wouldn't either before coming down here. But this seems like aggressive expansion. But I defer to you guys. Like, I don't know what I don't know what to do.
Did I believe? Sorry, that in character.
Yeah, that was in character.
Yeah. I agree that these some form of consolidation or expansion of Parallax's power, but we should discuss this out the way from prying ears. I do not want to anger the kobolds, and certainly not the dragon who has taken issue with us offering to hand him back the field. If we agree, I don't think we have much leeway to barter. So if we agree with Meepo, we let him know that we will go and investigate and potentially remove this dragon, and then we can leave. Discuss it later.
Yeah. So,
I'd be for the best.
so would you like me to tell me about that?
Sure.
We're going to begin our investigations.
Yes, I think that is best.
Meepo, my good friend.
Yes, tall dragon.
we are going to take our leave and investigate this sibling.
Yes, yes, good. I tell Karats. I will make map, help narrow rocks and rivers where you look.
It would be really funny seeing
thank you.
people make a map.
Make a map. Make a map.
It is Kalrax not met sibling, but feel it in dragon blood that it encroach. Feel it in heart and body that not too far. And he worry that other dragon feel his lair present and this tribe too. Yes, you go. Come back when you want map. Or you want map now? Meepo, not sure.
Map now, please, Meepo.
Yes. And you see him get off the stone, and he walks like a couple feet in front of Thoric, and he takes out this the little stick that he had, a little scepter. He walks over to a little piece of mud from where the water's dripping on the corner of one of the flagstones, and then like just draws a very basic of "This is us," like draws a little dragon head, "This is us," draws the river, and then puts it a little bit up the river, and dots it, like makes a couple dots, like maybe here from what dragons show me, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Meepo, this good scepter. Meepo learned lot from dragon.
Very good, Meepo. I'm glad you're doing well for yourself.
I am supreme sorcerer of Blue Drake. Yes, very good. Make an
Yeah.
insight check for me, please, Thoric and Lorana, because you're right in front of them.
Okay.
15.
Fucking god damn it!
Lernok, this guy is so cute. For you, Thoric, when you dealt with Yzdrel, she was a lot more composed. This Scobo doesn't live very long. This is Meeple's first couple, like maybe even a week of being in charge, and he just keeps saying that he's in charge. And his demeanor is, if he keeps saying that he's in charge of people, instantly respect him as being in charge. But some of the other kobolds looking at him like, this fucking guy, like. He was friends with or passing knowledge of Calrax, and because he was the closest one to Calrax, that's why he's in charge. When some of them are probably harboring a desire to be in charge, being second in command, but that didn't happen. But for now, Meepo is so yeah, you have a rough idea. So it's a bit hard to draw. I'll do a rough pin. I guess I can add a. Can I create an element? I guess I can. So if you imagine like the Sunless Citadel and the Slumbering River, if you imagine you go upriver a couple miles into that kind of band of trees, into the rock faces, somewhere around in there. So in between the Slumbering River pin and the Slumber Lake pin, but into the east kind of rocky hillsides is probably roughly where he drew it. So you're probably likely need to cross that river at some point or another.
So it is a little ways off from the Slumbering Bluff.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll just add a pin. I'll just create a pin. Lair of maybe dragon. And I'll add it into southern Erith. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You should see it roughly now somewhere around in there. If you manage to refresh.
I'm not seeing it, but I think we got a good idea of where it is.
I'll just do this. Make sure I'm not hiding anything. Notes. There you go. We should see it there.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So just
okay.
so it's like just south of the lake, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, see it now. If you refresh, you can see it. Okay, dokie.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There's
Sure,
also
it's
north.
roughly.
You can river crossing anywhere near there.
It's a big river, and guess what, guys? It's rained a lot as well, so the river's going to
So
be
it's an even bigger river.
Sweet,
And,
sweet,
and
sweet.
faster
I'm assuming
flowing.
that on account of the fact that there's like not even any settlements on the other side, there probably isn't going to be a crossing like, anywhere really. It's
No,
like not going to be like a
it's
convenient bridge.
probably
have to
about
up
a
and round.
day away. Probably a day away if you cut straight up. If you cross the river, manage to go straight up.
But
yeah.
All right,
Mhm.
let's
Yeah.
take our lead.
Okay. You guys walk out of the company of the kobolds. I'll just drag you to a quiet room then.
Sure.
Oh shit! I took Meepo with you. No, Meepo, go away.
Meepo wants to make sure we do the job.
Meepo's
Yeah.
part of the party now.
Sorry.
Meepo's in
draconic could
charge of
also-
the party now.
I put you there.
Meepo can think he's in charge of the party.
Meepo thinks he's in
Right,
charge of the
okay.
kobolds.
He does think he's in charge of the kobolds.
There you go. You're on your own company.
Which I mean, nice. Okay.
We can say you've gone further or gone right to the entrance. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, it's probably a good time to discuss what we think we should do.
If it is only the threat of this lair being usurped, then perhaps we can discuss such a thing with this other dragon. Convince it to find elsewhere, or find residence elsewhere. As long as that is the case, then it is not no longer a threat. Our part of the bargain is upheld.
I suppose, although it will take a good silver tongue for us to be able to convince the dragon, who is larger than its sibling, to leave.
Perhaps, but it is worth it is be good to try at least. I assume that you still desire this breastplate.
Not entirely the breastplate, but I am also becoming increasingly concerned with the dragon occupation in this area.
Exactly. There was one.
It-
Didn't seem like they were going to be too much of a threat. They had their kobolds, but now there's two. There's one expressing they want to expand because of another one who's, by the way, bigger than this one. This is becoming an actual issue towards us and the public of Rackmere and Breakwater.
I concur. And it is evident from what we have seen inside this temple that these kobolds can be manipulated very easily. Now,
They have no minds of their own. Well,
individually,
these ones don't anymore.
and they may not be a threat individually, but if you put them all together and if they have a dragon bracken, then it could become a problem.
Perhaps.
It only takes a little push for them to then go to perhaps the roads and start to pilfer from babbling people. And the way they look, it does in our items. It doesn't seem that they have much reticence from robbing or taking. But
Perhaps.
I suppose we were saved by our relationship with Meepo.
Perhaps, but it also means that they have that, but still have the potential to do good. We could perhaps turn that to the service and protection of the land, as opposed to being a threat.
It would be hard for us to influence the kobolds to do anything that the dragon is not telling them to do without removing the dragon itself.
I think Thorkel is right. And
Perhaps,
Lyrinok, I
Obviously.
agree with
But-
your preservation for life and morals of all creatures. However, this is becoming dangerous now. There's a lot of kobolds under one dragon who's becoming very, very big, very fast now that they're settled.
It may be most beneficial if we go and investigate this other layer. We are not aware of what is happening over that side of the river. It could be that they are retained, that he has spread from within Barbazia's lands incidentally, and it is not attempting to generate power like Carlax is, but we won't know until we go there. I would like to find out for ourselves what exactly is happening with this other dragon in the lair.
I'm only learning recently, and my total knowledge of dragons, but I feel we should be wary of this other dragon sibling if it is bigger than Carlax, how strong it actually could be, and if we could survive an encounter, regardless of whether we antagonize it or not. It may just have a mind of not liking us to begin with.
It is also true. It is a predicament we find ourselves in.
I think we should go for it.
You want to go
Which
to the
one?
lair?
By go for it, you mean
Go to the lair.
Yeah.
If we truly believe that we have any duty to these people, at some point we are going to have to know about this layer. It is my belief. Rakmir is not so far away that it cannot be attacked by a dragon, and there are now two within a day's ride, day and a half.
A quick sidebar, Sean. Remember we went to the Arch Zealot?
Mm-hmm.
Did she express kind of like the interest of not wanting the public to find out what we know of like the Citadel and stuff, or am I just imagining
Good
that?
question. I don't know if she expressly stated anything along those lines. I can't remember off the top of my head, and it's not in my notes. But there was a sort of understanding that she was stating that officially there's an agreement between Erith and Barbazier, but she was insinuating that agreement seems to be in a position where it's kind of falling apart. But I'm
Blurred
not sure if
lines.
she said anything. Yeah, I don't know if the people know anything other than Barbazier is like confined to the Badlands. Yeah, I don't think she said anything about keeping it quiet, but I'm not sure.
Would it be worth? I said this actually to Torkel. Would it be worth reporting back to the Arch Zealot about this situation before we actually make a move ourselves?
And I think it's probably a good idea. We will probably have to cross the bridge. I suppose I don't really know, to be honest, because we will have to ford the river in any event, but maybe there is a way to get across the lake and it is more easily traversed than the fording the river. Either way, we might have to return to Rakmir.
Cypher,
Yes.
we've had over a week of heavy torrential rain.
Yeah.
Still
raining
north
today.
where we are now, like northeast, that's like a gradient uphill where the river starts from a lake, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. I'm assuming I don't need to roll for Orly when I say it's probably impossible for. When did the rain start? We've had it. It's been nonstop. We can't cross the river right now.
No, you also probably would need boats of some kind as well.
And even at that, we'd be flung down river before we could even make it across, I assume.
Yeah, you get knocked down river. Like probably at the widest, the river is probably like a mile and a half to maybe like half a mile. Probably winds and snakes and bends. Like it's a pretty big river, and usually when it shrinks, it's not because that it's because the water flow is low. So like when we call it the slumbering river, or the dry run rivers, because in the really summer months it gets really dry, so it is probably like maybe a couple 100 feet across at most, and you can wade through most of it. But when it's during the rainy season, it gets really deep and gets really wide, and it's just kind of this. It's not blue water; it's a lot of it's just mucky runoff from the sandbars and the taking debris down. It flash floods and things like that. And as you move more east and move more upland, it does get more hilly. So the water runoff from like the mountains, from the Slumbering Bluff and the mountains around that, that's where it's going to be coming from, and stuff. So your options are either like go back to Rackmere and head up towards like the Road of Reavers and across the East Cairn Fort and go around that way, which has its very own challenges on its own, or try and build a boat, or hire a boat, or you go to Breakwater and you cross Split Rock and you go all the way up across the Slumbering Bluffs, and stuff. So those are kind of your options there. But yeah, it definitely is a tricky issue. You're dealing with possibly a child of Barrazir, which is in the kind of greater sphere of influence of Barrazir, and Barrazir knows about it, and one that Barrazir has probably no notion of knowing about, but wants to get rid of the other one. And as for your conversation with the Archzealot, it was kind of this known thing of we don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with us. And the agents, the Silver Templars and the Brass Shields and all these things, they don't deal with the Barrazir schemes or cultists of the dragon. And even now that they had for a time the Ravensword Mercenary Company, they are very much employed to deal with like ogres and trolls and reavers and stuff like that, on the roads and in the outback country of the Arid Expanse and further regions, by the Archzealot of Breakwater and Rackmere and Barrazir as intelligent enough creatures to know that if Ravensword mercenaries came and attacked her and tried to kill her children, she would just blame it on them and blame it on the governments of the Archzealot leading those civilizations. So that's why they haven't sent Ravensword Company mercenaries to deal with her or her influence and stuff like that.
What do we want?
I hate
What do we
this.
want to do?
I hate this.
It's fair. I don't hate
Um,
this. It's
Politics get tricky when you involve dragons.
just
Wait, hold on. DM, I'd like to do a perception check and see if we're being listened in on. Look
Oh
around
yeah, make a
and
perception
stuff.
check. Yeah.
Perception
we haven't been whispering at all.
13. I'm
13.
gonna fucking read it.
I would imagine you guys aren't like. I would say you guys have gone a good couple 100 feet, like back, not maybe climbed up the rope, but certainly towards the entrance to stay away from the kobolds and stuff like that. You probably closed doors behind you as well. Hendrik, you don't hear like any doors opening up behind you, a good couple distance away, and you don't feel that you're being listened to. You don't get any sense that like you feel comfortable enough that you can continue this conversation, but maybe speak a bit quieter.
I think we should head back towards Rackman for the moment, now at least. And then we can decide whether we want to head straight east and cross the river, or go around, go to the northeast up by the fort, and go around the Slumbering Lake.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
no matter what we do, this will not be a short journey. Sorry, but how? Actually, wait. I think we've got. Do we have out on the calendar when the thing is, when that meeting is supposed to take place?
The meeting with
Yes, it's
with Eric, it's the 11th. It'll be the 10th
10th
day of
day.
Baldoran. So it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
13.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 days.
Is it not the 25th?
Yeah. But remember, there's extra days that aren't named the 25th. So be this day.
I'm still only
So it's,
counting.
you're looking
never
at a
mind.
day and a half back to Rackmere
Yeah.
again already. A day and a half, 2 days back to Rackmere. So it would take you to the 27th, 28th maybe. Yeah, so if you left immediately this day, you went back, you would get back probably the 27th. And then, I mean, I can give you a rough maybe guess of how long it would take for you guys to get if you went up and overland.
Up around by the fort.
Up around by East Ken Fort, yeah.
It'd probably take 3 days to get to roundabouts where we want to, and then 3 back.
Yeah, you're probably talking anywhere between like if you went like up the road of Reavers, then cut off in East Cairn Fort, you're probably talking about maybe 100 miles. And then if you basically went from Rackmere and followed the river all the way up and around, like say, literally followed the river all the way up and around the river, maybe around like 80 miles, something like that. So you could cut a day off.
Either way,
But-
it's going to be killing it close when we still don't even know where it's taking place.
Yeah.
So this one's kind of up to you, Sean, because these are both your quests.
Yeah. The breastplate isn't going anywhere, and there's a secondary quest that Torkel is really interested in, but it doesn't take precedence over making sure that we attend this meeting in the most prepared way possible. So if the party makes it clear, if there is any discussion about whether or not we have to choose in character over which one we want to do, then he will obviously prioritize doing the meeting. So yeah, I think from my perspective, in terms of the character, I think that he's of the opinion that we should probably just head back to Rackmere and take stock of what is in front of us.
No.
How long do you think it's going to take? Like 8 days?
Probably.
That is a
Day and a
That is a
half
good
for us to
amount.
get back.
of travel.
It'd probably you'd be a day and a half back to Rackmere, so that's already a day and a half. And then you're looking
Yeah.
at maybe like 3 to 4 days to get all the way around Slumbering Bluff.
Yeah.
Between 3 and 5, depending on which route you took.
Mhm.
And then that's not acknowledging any complications that might
Just
come
like
up or
like
worse
10 going
weather.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
you're probably
um,
looking-
And then we'll. I
And
think
again,
I don't
it's
think
too,
we'll
it's
have.
too
We
close,
don't.
it's too close to cut it.
Yeah, again, because hopefully the idea is that it's either Breakwater, Burl, or Vard.
I mean, realistically, if we would go back to Rackmere and we would inquire in Rackmere about anybody who's ever travelled to that side of the river,
Yeah, that's
past
possible.
them, and then see if they like try and find a guide, that'd probably make more sense. But that'll take a couple of days by itself, and it could end up that we don't actually.
Yeah.
That they say that the best place to go is Breakwater if you want to get, So I don't think it makes any sense in character for this discussion to go this deep at the entrance of the Sunless Citadel. So I think that Torkels would just suggest that we return to Rackmere and take stock of what we can do once we're back there, because we're really not in a position to really do the research that he would want to do until we're actually in a city. Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's what Torkels would say.
I don't think anyone has an issue with going back to Rackmere now, anyways. Do they?
Not a waste of time, but yeah, we can do it.
Well, I mean, we need to go somewhere to like look at where we think where the meeting is, right? Isn't that one of the plots that Lorano uncovered? So,
Sort of, yeah. Just we discovered where it's not at the minute.
which is Rackmere or the capital.
Rackmere, Erith, or Oakhart.
Yeah, so
Oakhart.
it's not none of those places. Okay. Well, yeah, let's return to. I mean, Rackmere's the closest city to us just
Mhm.
now, right?
Mhm.
So the decision is either 2 days to Breakwater.
I mean, if you guys went directly from here and wanted to go to like Heat Shade or something like that. Oh, where's my measuring tool?
Yeah,
You're probably looking
Heat
at.
Shade and Breakwater's a possibility.
Is Heat
It's
Shade
literally it's
the
6 or
mer-
half a dozen. Honestly, it's like you can either go to Rackmere a day and a half or go to Heat Shade in a day and a half.
Hmm. Is Heat Shade the mercenary?
Yeah, that's where the
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a
Raven
small
Swords are
contingent
based
of
out
silver
there. Yeah.
Templars, and then there's the Raven Swords that come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, Heat Shade is just this
It's a
small
midway point.
frontier town. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a frontier town of like lodgings and like animals, beasts of burden, and like people
Yeah.
stay there for seasonal work,
It's like
pass through.
Gretna.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, then that's a day and a half, and then it's a day from there to Breakwater.
It's about 50 miles from Heat Shade to Breakwater. So about a day and a half again. So you're talking 3 days, from where you currently are to Heat Shade and then to Breakwater. All in all.
Okay. I think we head back to Ragnar. I think that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's up to the party.
Okay.
I'm happy to go to Ragnarok.
I'll be going along.
Okay.
Okay, let's return to Ragnar once again, take stock, perhaps update the RZ regarding this dragon. I am sorry that we had to waste some time coming out here, but at least we have further information.
Yeah. All right, Stilty, you've came all this way. You've been down the hole for coming back up your ropes. Why don't you give me a survival check, please, to head back to
Okay.
your first day of travel? 16. All right. So your full day of travel. You guys go a couple hours. Say go another
We
8
can knock
hours.
off a
1, 2,
ration,
3,
actually.
4,
I keep
5,
forgetting
6,
about ration.
7, 8. Yeah, knock off another
Oh yeah,
ration.
How many rations?
I think
Why just one more?
Two-
Okay.
Okay. All right. You get to about midday. You've traveled for 8 hours going through. Do you want to push your animals at all?
I don't think we need to push.
Okay. You want a long rest and then
we're not fighting against the clock to try and travel and
No.
come back for this meeting. So I think actually we can actually take our time on everything up until that point now.
all right. Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys wait a couple hours, you guys set up a camp, you rest. Why don't I guess you guys might probably like whatever chores you got to do, whatever things you want to do, if there's anything you guys want to do in the campsite while you're setting up.
I'm gonna try hunt if I can, just to get maybe some food to replenish our rations for the party.
Sure. Make a survival check, please.
Yeah, I know I'm no ranger, but
Yeah.
Nice.
25. Roll me a d6 plus 3, please.
sure thing.
You have
Can't
you've
remember.
killed a
Is it?
Slash R 1d6.
It's just
plus 3.
R, yeah.
you killed a buffalo. You have 860 pounds of food. Unfortunately, you can only carry 100 pounds back to the wagon.
Mhm.
You managed to kill a boar, and you get
Ooh.
7 rations to add to your inventory.
Okay.
You kill a sand boar.
Cute a bit. I'll chuck one to each member of the party as well then.
Okay, everybody add a ration back, and then probably promptly take it away for your next day of exploration.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna not change it.
Yeah, probably don't even change it. All right, okay, survival. You guys camp up. Do you have an order of watch?
I'll take first.
Okay, roll perception check. 17. All right. Your watch passes uneventfully. It still keeps raining.
Leave.
All right. Okay.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Ooh.
6. Orly, you hear a rattlesnake approaching your camp, and you kick it away with a stick.
Critters.
Next.
I'll go.
Okay.
Just that perception.
Mm-hmm. 21. You, as it gets into, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Still strong rainfall. The wind slightly changes to the south. Still grey and overcast, and you see on the high top ridge that Orly has usually been making you guys camp on. There's low fog in these drainages and low parts of the sandy bars and shrubland, which does not fill your confidence because, as I said, most of the tree life or vegetation does get above like about 8 to 7 foot. So it's quite creepy. Like you're on the rocky like outcroppings, about maybe like 300-400 feet above the shrubland. But the shrubland is just like basically the kind of blanket of fog around it, and you think you can see some shapes in it, and you stare really intently at it, and it's just groups of wildlife moving around it under the darkness. Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what you think it is. All right, next watch.
I'll take fourth.
Okay, make a perception check.
Oh my fucking god.
You cannot roll.
I
on
don't.
today,
I
can you?
legitimately don't think I've rolled above a 6 this entire session.
All right. It is. You guys wake up. Nothing happens. You learn your party wakes up. It is the day of Friends. It is now another weekend again. Again, grey overcast, strong rainfall, but slightly warmer than the day before. And I guess we'll next day make something survival check for me, Stoti. This is literally just to get you to the road.
Ugly, ugly.
10. You take your piece of burden. You navigate the way. You have to do a little bit of side skirting because one of the ditches that you dropped down into and then came up out of is kind of became flooded. There's been a burst bank somewhere, but you get back to the road. But through this day, just before you guys get to Rackmere, you guys have been traveling in the rain, and this rain has been relentless and it's soaked through your garments, your cloaks, your bedrolls. I need all of you guys to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. You guys have been soaked.
Oh, sorry.
Why?
We've been through a day, so I get my daily thing back. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get your thing back. Yeah, for sure.
Con
So
save.
what's it? Can't say. Hey,
Pass.
Can't save.
Pass.
Can I use prestidigitation to dry myself off? It's a
No.
cantrip. No. Okay.
No.
19. Yeah, it was a DC 8 and you guys all passed. But yeah, well done. Yeah, you guys fight off the grips of hypothermia. Because you can still
How
get
much
really
XP do we
fucking
get
cold
for
from being
beating
wet.
them?
Also, I have like resistance to cold, so would that have helped?
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Yeah, you wouldn't have definitely needed to make that check unless it was much colder. All right, yeah, you guys arrived back in Rackmere. So that was a day and a half. So you're on that was one day, next
ship
day,
Day of
27th.
Self?
Yeah, 27th day of self is when you guys get back. Yeah, you guys probably get back late evenings, and then you probably rest again. So yeah, day of self, morning of day of self, you're in Rackmere. What do you guys do? It is the weekend, so a lot of businesses are closed. Day of self, obviously, focused around self-improvement, self-work, self-worship, all these things as well. It is cool. There's still steady rainfall. It's grey overcast, and there's fog outside of the town, but it's still raining.
I mean, do we observe the day of self?
Yeah. Do you guys work on yourselves? Do you get tired of creating your own path?
Can we
Hendrik?
work on ourselves by studying?
Yeah, you can.
That's what I'll do. I'll go and
You
read some
study.
books, see if I can find anything about their local area.
You
or
find the
anything like
newest
that.
edition of
Minerals.
Architecture Anthologies, 1490.
Hell yeah. Oh, this is going to
Hendrik,
be such a good day.
Hendrik has spent a lot of his life walking around,
Mm-hmm.
and Hendrik absolutely hates walking around.
All right.
After you do it so much, you just get really bored of seeing trees and dirt roads. And Hendrik is going to just fucking get out of the tavern, get away from his people that he's spent 4 or 5
with?
days with. Yeah, 2 weeks
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's
we
going
got
to
cabin fever as well because we were
yeah.
stuck indoors. So
Hendrik has social cabin fever and actual cabin fever and fever. Hendrik's just gonna look for any sort of job that needs help, or like go to the quest board and like, oh, kill 3 rats. Just like the lowest level shit that doesn't actually endanger Hendrik at all, but just so
Okay.
Hendrik can like do something.
All right. Roll me just roll me a d20, please. Just flat d20.
Sure.
Thank you, Don. 4. You find work sweeping a floor outside in a barn out in the exterior of town. You do not get paid for it. You just get the nice company of yourself and left to your own being. You get
The barn.
relaxed and rejuvenated. A barn on the outside of the wineries.
Are
Like
the animals in the barn?
No, the animals are all out in the paddocks. And they're one of the kind of days where it's not been raining as hard, so they let them out.
Hendrik is going, after he's done. Hendrik's going to go pet the animals.
There's some Heidels, a couple thoroughbred horses that cost more than any gold you got in your pocket currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And with that,
fuck it, that's a good day for
Yeah.
Hendrik. You got to pet an animal. Got to help
Yeah.
someone.
yeah. So 27th, let's go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break there, guys. And you gotta have a think of what you guys want to try and do.
Sure
I'm gonna go put a pizza on myself, have a quick dinner. So I'll probably be like 15 minutes or
All right,
something
okay.
like that.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
gonna eat my pasta.
Cute.
All right. So you guys got back to Rackmere. Could you guys all mark off 5 silver pieces just for finding some quick accommodation from getting back to Rackmere to find some lodgings?
Sure.
Or just take off a gold piece and add yourself back 5 silver pieces, whatever is easiest. Yeah, it is. Well, I would say that because of Hendrik doing most of his things, that's what he's doing for the day. Is anyone else doing anything for the 27th, the day of self?
I'm
Yes.
gonna
No,
do
go
some
on, sorry.
research.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do some reading and research and stuff like that.
What about? Or just in
Just
general?
the local general, yeah, just the area, the geological makeup of it. You know, things
Alright.
around about Rackmere and anything like that. Any histories,
Yeah.
maybe some city planning documents if you can get access to them, just random stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Loranic, anything for you?
Yes. Mirak would like, so he probably knows some very basics. He would like to learn more about cooking. He'd like to be able to. He obviously knows that they can, or you can create, basically magical food and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and that's pretty very commonplace in the
Concord, yeah.
in the Concords. But he would like to
Mhm.
know how to make actual food and how to make it a more hearty and wholesome meal. So,
Okay.
and it serves as obviously as Baldre, like kind of helps really the family meal
Yeah.
when they get together. So that's
All
what he
right.
wants. He
So
wants,
say,
he wants to-
so are you going to say you go to the Better Rose Tap House and you kind of just follow Pio around and just like see what he's doing?
Yeah, basically. If Pio is happy for it, he was happy
Yeah.
to sort of be
I
of
think
service.
he's
But
happy to have an angel in his kitchen with him.
absolutely, he's very willing to be Pio. Just have someone where he's like, I don't know the basics. I can handle some prep work, but
Yeah.
just wants to be there to study and help learn more of what it's
Totally.
like, especially because he knows Pio is very capable. Sure, it's not
Yeah.
like, and he's not looking for like masterclass
Mhm,
chef or anything
mhm.
like that. If anything,
No, and
he
Pio
would
isn't one,
prefer Pio's cooking style, where it's just about making batch cooking of good hearty food.
Make a wisdom check for me, please.
Oh boy,
You follow along with this.
okay. You know what? Fuck it. I haven't used one yet. I'm gonna use inspiration to reroll that.
Okay.
Hey!
Oh,
17. Well, you rolled a 4 again. What was your first roll? Oh wait, no, sorry, you're right. I only caught the 4 for strange. I see.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's weird.
I only
Yes, sorry. So
it
it
was a
was
bit delayed.
it rolled. Okay, it rolled 4. Used inspiration
Mhm.
into 17.
I get you. All right, so Pio, probably like 45% of his rooms are booked out. So today he's got a lunch meal and he's got a dinner meal to serve. For the lunch, he goes with classics of sliced breads, cheeses on top, and like kind of grilled cheeses. And for dinner, he's going to serve like a soup of fish, like kind of skink thing, with fried peppers and some dried meats as well. And basically, what you're doing is you're kind of like getting an understanding of like volume and timings. And one of the most important things about batch cooking is timing things that they're all ready at the same time. So you're like, but why are you putting this on 3 hours before it needs to be ready? He's like, well, it needs to broil, it needs to do this, and if I need to make a change like for seasonings and like that, I need plenty of time to do it. And then he also sends a couple of runners out to get more extra food in case more customers come in. So you get an understanding of that. Like it's not just simple as cook something, cut it, leave it
It's
aside.
not
It's like,
just
no,
throwing it in a pan or
exactly. There's a
medieval
lot of
equivalent.
preparation to it, and you realize that this particular meal is 3 or 4 days planning ahead, and when he's finished this meal, he's planning another 3 or 4 days ahead of what he needs, and sending out runners and putting it in ingredients, and also just kind of spreading, or not spreading, but spending coinage on some of the kind of high demand and favorite like seasonal jars of spices that people like to add in some of their bland food.
Yes, if I
Even
recall correctly, spices were pretty well favored in the Empire,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. So the Concord trades extensively with spice merchants from across the world and grows a lot of very spicy food like peppers and like things like that to add like something to a lot of the bland food that comes across. And, like mint shavings and garlic plants and all these things as well are very much in demand. But you're in the south, which is kind of like a little bit of like a heartland for very tasty food. You've got oranges, apples, um, lemons, limes. You've got a lot of stuff to add, really important things, raspberries, strawberries, olives, all to make olive oil. You're kind of in that heartland of like flatbreads and jams and preserves and all these things. And you get a good day of seeing how a real kitchen works, a real kitchen, a real business. And Pio, despite him owning most of the tavern, a lot of like the drink handling stuff like that goes to his other employees. He kind of runs the kitchen, and then there's the lodging books, like the ledger books of people who's staying when he has time that he's not in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right, Thorak, you doing anything today?
Well, I was thinking of maybe spending the first part of the day working out. So I was trying to see if there's any kind of place. Like, gyms aren't really a thing, I imagine.
No, there's like dueling halls, which would be like honored to Audrun and things like that. But I guess the closest thing you could do is probably like helping some manual labor at the Ministry of Masterworks or something like that. Like seeing if
Yeah,
like anyone needs a hand for a day.
Thork would do some work there,
Mm,
bit of focusing
yeah.
on the big heavy stuff, and then I don't know, being taste tester for Lernok's cooking, I guess.
Yeah, so you go and do a hard graft in the morning and come back and like basically just sample the food that Leonok and P are cooking up for the better roses.
Yep.
Cool. All right. That's your day taken care of. You go and help Ministry of Masterworks move some heavy materials of lumber and stone for some extra house floor renovations that have been on the basically docket for past 20 years and finally getting around to it. Bureaucracy. And with that, your day ends. We get into the 20th day, the day of God.
Sorry, could
Yeah,
I just
of course.
spend the day in the entertainment district
Uh-huh.
looking around for any more symbols of three-headed snake or anything of that ilk?
Sure. Sure. What was the perception investigation I made you ask? I asked you to roll last time, Doty. I think it was investigation, wasn't
I can't remember.
It was an investigation. It was because I
it?
remember wishing that I was there.
Oh,
Ah.
right, yeah. Make an investigation check, for me, please. Then
Sure thing.
18. You go around the entertainment district, and it being on a weekend, it's fairly busy. There's people around. There's people going out of the poetry amphitheater. It's day of self. There's a lot of people like getting their sermons ready, like whether they're preachers, whether they're singers, whether they're writers. And people on these kind of they're not very common interiorly, but on coastal cities or coastal towns, and especially in Erith, likes of Oakhart, Erith, and Breakwater have been very common. They are basically like open air free speak zones where people are free to speak their ideas, and they, people debate the teachings of gods, people debate current literature and understanding of gods, and this is how people progress, and this is how they stay alive. But immediate ideas of the standard decorum is challenged and talked about, and that's where there's some reformations of certain dominions of churches, shall we say. So you're around this area, and there are priests of the melon offering guidance, offering marriage counseling, like all these things as well. And you kind of overhear some things, but you do not see any signs of this three-headed snake, this hydra, thieves' camp language anywhere within this area.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the next day, on the day of God, what do you guys find yourself doing?
I would like to get a quick letter sent, if that's okay, before focusing on prayers. So do you mind if I just DM you that letter and just
Yeah,
how much
that is
and
totally fine. Yeah.
just tell me how much it would cost, if that's okay?
How far is it going?
It's going to Vard.
Okay. Oh god, I need to zoom out. It's 100 miles. That's about 2 gold pieces.
Thank you. I'll just type up the message to see if you want to go to other people what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the other guy? What are you guys doing on the day of God for yourselves? Now this day, it is a light breeze. It is cool, and there is no rain, and there are no clouds in the sky above you. It is one of the days where you can actually see and take in some of the, fairly growing vines. There is not this kind of dullness, the bright colors of the buildings around you, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the blues, they're all kind of popping as the bright sunlight comes in after kind of the mix of moisture in the air. The past week it's just rain.
I have a request, Ian.
Uh-huh.
Could you change the map we're on to the map of the world?
Oh, so no,
Just
you
so we
guys
have
can keep her.
something to look at. I mean, like, just so we have something to look at other than.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, sorry, apologies. I thought I'd moved you guys ages ago. Never mind.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Is there an orphanage in Rackman?
There would be. Yeah, there would be.
I'll spend today seeking it out, and then
It's just the civil house. It's not far off Sanson Square. It's the
Okay.
house where a lot of the banquet you guys first attended here was organized, and it is
Okay.
kind of the main house where a lot of the Baldry um officiating takes place.
I'll just show up there and offer services or help if needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably like help take a class of around 10 or so kids out and help talk them about nature and stuff
Sure,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You'd be a bit of a you go across and like, oh, this is raspberry and this is strawberry and this is when it's ripe and look the way it's growing and and these are the kind of animals that'll feed off it and you see like some interior animals that find themselves in the city, like some squirrels and things like that.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Okay. All right. So it's the weekend, so most businesses are closed, especially it being on the day of God. To have your business open on the day of God is not looked upon favorably unless it's like
Oh
a
shit,
military
yeah.
matter.
Yeah, I imagine that's a bit shady.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we could say that what you wanted to get, you got a few days ago. No problem at all.
Cool, thanks.
For you, Thork.
Apart from getting the letter written, and I'm guessing sent either yesterday or the next day.
Yeah, next day. Yeah.
I suppose is there any kind of like library or anything Bahamut here in Rackmere?
There is there's a campus, the Salvador Damian campus, which is the premier college and learning for those within Rackmere. Yeah, you did go to the Shaded Page Library a wee while ago as well.
Yeah, I like to go there and offer, I guess, whatever I can. Like, I'm not a paladin, I can't officiate anything, but
You're still a bulwark within the order.
yeah. So just go there and offer myself there for the day.
Yeah. It's very reminiscent of a lot of the duties you have in Vard, where you come in, they take your name, they take your paperwork, and take a record of you. So it's like the first maybe hour or so of you being there is literally just bookkeeping. You'll be like, "Where have you been? What have you been doing? Why are you here?" And you're like, "Yeah, I've been doing this, been doing that." And then you find yourself just guarding the library for the next 8 hours.
Fair.
And you help cover someone's shifts, you really need to go away for the birth of their firstborn child. So you did a good job. All right. Anything else you guys want to do before this weekend?
There's something I'd like to do, but I'm happy to let other people go first. Okay. I'm assuming no.
No,
Go ahead,
go
Ron.
ahead.
Right. Okay. Yes, there is something that Lerner would like to do. Leonok is actually probably going to. I assume they've still got their rented accommodation.
Yeah.
Leonok is
you still get
actually
that
going to
interest.
basically. Although actually they haven't done. They have got. Is there somewhere specific that because there's not really churches of Baldray, it's more like food kitchens and things like that. If I recall.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there still somewhere that you go where it's like, you go to make a specific prayer to the god, like you go, how we have like prayer rooms and such. Is there something like an
People would have
equivalent
like an
here?
idol of Baldray within like their own home, but there would still be statues, 100% of like the Hearthfire and the Homemaker around, especially Rackmere, that you could go to and like pray at.
Yes, he definitely like to be that. If it's a more private setting, like if there's where you go and it's just you.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
like to go to
I
one
mean,
of those if possible.
absolutely, there's definitely private prayer chambers for all the gods. Yeah, you can find one of those, no problem at all.
And then he is going to basically pray. He's going to start his prayer to Baldray. Go. My Lord, my God, I am here before you once more to offer my services in your stead. I also come to beg forgiveness for having failed to protect those that needed it. I was not fast enough. I was not strong enough. I wish to beg forgiveness in the name of Gale, who was sacrificed by someone he trusted in the name of some dark service to a tree that devoured flesh and life and was a corruption of all that should be. But I also am here before you to beg for someone else. Sir Vinicus was a man who, in his final days, faltered and fell and became things and became something that no man should aspire to be. If he then died, if you come across him in your judgment of those that have passed, I please beg, do not see him only for the man he was in the end. See him for the man he was when he served the Concords and as Silver Knight. Well, sorry, as a knight, rather. See the man that he could have been, the good that he could have done, had he not been tempted from that path. I truly believe, even after things he did, he was a good man. He could have been a great man. So please, have mercy upon him and ensure that he is not treated too harshly for the failings and the trappings of all mortal people and faltering for such a short time.
You feel a weight that you've been carrying because you've wanted to have these words with your God for some time, ever since these events happened, and you feel a
Yes.
weight lift from your shoulders. And with that weight, that carried substance of knowing that your God, Baldray, he is not a god of punishment, nor of one that demands explanation to your own actions or failures. He is a god of home and heart and community. And despite your demeanor, which is you're probably coming from a heritage of Audrin, of pleading for explicit and praying for explicit signage or interaction or pleading, because Audrin behaves very differently in the hierarchy of clergy and gods. Baldry's a lot more passive. But in this moment, you feel not just a spiritual weight, but a physical weight lift from you. as your the sword that you carry upon your back disappears,
Oh, completely gone.
gone. You're there and you're praying and you breathe out and then you're like, but the buckle, and you go to feel the buckle on your shoulder strap and it's not there. The sword is gone.
Leonard doesn't know how to react to that because he doesn't consider himself like that, like what that represents to him. He doesn't feel like he's in that, so he's like, I don't understand.
You say you don't understand.
He does, yeah.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please? With advantage, because you're an Azamar.
With advantage, okay. Oof, not standing
12.
still.
Not enough. So
Damn.
you, as an entity of radiant light, half angel, man who's lived longer than other mortal men, you have felt the presence of godly light. You have seen avatars of gods. You have seen higher angels. You've been in the presence of the living saint. And within your own mind's eye, you hear a reverberating voice, kind of just almost like a tsunami trying to fit inside a glass bottle. It is too much, but you still hear the words. Things will be explained in due time. Relinquish the weight of penance and let me carry it for you to learn. You must take the teachings and enact them best you can, son of mine. And that's it. And then with that, you get this wash of just adrenaline that hits your body, and you double over like into your own lap, and you're just deeply breathing. And that's it, gone. The tsunami, the wave, the absolute force of energy inside your brain is gone, and you're just left empty.
Okay, yeah, I think Lennox just gonna sit there and recover for a little while as that's happened. Like he doesn't know how to react. Like this is, it's almost like him being told to let go of the penance or the weight of the penance, the weight of the sword for him. It's difficult because he doesn't believe he's ready for it. He can't do it. So it's like being told, oh yeah, it's forgiven. It's like okay, but it doesn't feel internally. I don't know. But there must be a plan. There must be something else that I
There
just
must
don't
be.
understand. So he's gonna just, I guess, rest there for a little while.
Mm-hmm. That sword you carried on so many battlefields, you had swung, you had brought down enemy, brought down nefarious enemy, enemies of Concord, enemies of spirit and mind, that of your people, and it's gone. And it is this really weird feeling. You've carried that sword on your back as a soldier, then as a penance for a long time, and now it's gone.
Yeah, he's lost that. It definitely feels strange for him as the loss of just the weight, because it has always been there to represent the physical embodiment of what he believes, his failings and his sins, his penance. So it's weird for him.
As you finally raise your knees and stand back up your height, there's a pool of water at your feet where like you can like drop a coin in and pray and all these things, and you stare into it, and you no longer see the shoulder strap, you no longer see the hilt of the sword, the hand guard of the sword above your left shoulder blade, but you see a man in front of you, yourself, with just this kind of almost slightly rejuvenated look, with a blank slate of armor of plate and the weapon gone. And that is not lost on you. The blank slate that you are now,
Yeah.
you see it.
Perhaps this is what things should be. The opportunity he's been seeking to really start afresh.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah. It's not unusual for gods to talk in people's heads. I just want to make that clear. This isn't like a, oh my god, I need to tell the clergy. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that happens. Absolutely. And it's something that would probably happen to you more than anyone else because you're an Azamar. But yeah. Okay. Take a point of inspiration as well, or take inspiration for that. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else?
Today is the day of God, right? Like it's the day of
Uh-huh.
piety and doing.
Mhm.
Hendrik's going to worship in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Hendrik's gonna, I guess, like scene transition to the
Mhm.
back door of the tavern. You see Hendrix like step out from the door,
Mhm.
and he has completely different clothes on, and he
Yeah.
doesn't have his wig on. So it's just a
Oh, wow.
bald head, and you can see elf ears,
Mm.
and he's trying to look like he's kind of stayed away from the law part of this city, like going to the offices. He's done it a couple times, but he wants to look different than the fellow that everyone has seen before. Hendrik
Yeah.
is going to spend this holy day just going into the muck of the city, and he's going to try and find these businesses aren't open, but illegal businesses are, and Hendrik is going to try to like get a feel for if there's a criminal element within the city, smugglers
Yeah.
and stuff like that, or people selling,
Yeah.
peddling
Yeah.
magical, either garbage or real stuff, arcane, that stuff. So he's going to immerse himself in the underbelly
Mm. Okay.
as a different person.
Make an investigation check for me, please.
Yes, sir. Investigation.
Probably gonna be a 26 or something stupid. 12. Oh
I'll
wow.
have to use my inspiration.
Okay.
No, I have it. Yeah, okay.
Yes, you have advantage. So.
Yeah, that's what he's at.
It is a bit of a weird one, guys, because he does have advantage on the roll, so and it's within his ability.
That's
Um,
yeah. I didn't know how to buy. If you're a reroll, then you'd still just take all the benefits of
Well,
a roll.
it's the same. It's the same if you were making a tackle and you had advantage. I'd still let you re-roll the tackle with advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's.
oh, 20. Whoa. I was waiting for this. All right.
I'm specifically looking for people selling things that you're not supposed to sell,
On
like
today. Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
If there even is a black market in the
Yeah.
city.
The brass shields keep a tight lid within Rackmere, but Rackmere gets a big influx in summer months of people coming from Breakwater, from Borough, even from Erith for the seasonal work. And with the influx of a workforce comes demand, and comes demand comes a supply and a market for it. There is always old hanging ons of nefarious business happening. And as we discussed, the Hydra, as tough and as hard as the clergy and the brass shields work to get rid of it, it does not go away. It hasn't done for hundreds of years. You find yourself within the merchant district. The Toynhold of Mina is always open. That's one thing. It always is open because people need money. And you walk around there and it's quiet. People are with either at temple or they are either out in the wilds or in private prayer chambers with themselves or their families. But you do see what you think is a pattern of people going around a certain back alley street to a third tier house in a basement of that house, going in, coming out a few minutes later, and you think that the people going in and out, they don't look like people. They don't look like people trying to worship the gods today. They look like they've got other things on their mind. And so
Okay.
yeah. So what do you do?
Yeah, I'll approach. I'll go down the same alleyway and see what's going on.
Okay. We go in the alleyway. It kind of jerks to the left, and then it goes to the bottom door of a cellar. And there's a door. There's a wooden door just stood there, not heavily reinforced. There's a wooden door, and there's a slat at the top of the door for like an eye slit. What do you do?
Okay, hold on. I have spells and like let me
Mhm.
see if I can think of a. No, I'm not a wizard. I'm a fucking sorcerer. So my spells are about killing things. God. Oh wait, I
Cat's grace or whatever you call wise
yeah,
wisdom.
I haven't. Yeah, basically that's the entirety of my like out of
Mm.
a dexterity checks. I could do. Intelligence check, wisdom check, or charisma check. It's perception or wisdom. So this alley,
Mhm.
I look at the door. I don't know a password. I'm not gonna fucking get in. I'm going to look upwards and see if I could. The idea is like I'll just hide up on the roof, listening in, and
Mhm.
the next person who comes by will give a password, and I'll be able to hear it. So is there like is it like a
There is
one
a slight
story?
balcony. Yeah, so like this is a 3-story building. So if you think of ground floor, then there's a balcony above that. So you think that if you manage to get on the balcony, which is possible, you could climb up the side of the wall on the windowsill and get up to there. Make a perception check for me, please, first of all, for something.
Yes, sir.
18. You get the sense that the home on the other side of the balcony, it's quiet. You don't see any lights on, and you don't hear anybody inside of it. You have really, really detailed. Your ears perk up, and you really listen, and you don't get the sense on the balcony that anybody is in that home or they're out. So, make a if you want to climb up on there and see if you can listen from a distance like
Yeah, I'll do
15
that.
feet. Make an
I'll do that.
acrobatics check for me, please. 17. Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to roll with. Sorry, I didn't
it's
mean to
fine.
roll
It's
for
absolutely
advantage.
fine. You still got a
17.
16 on your first roll. So yeah, so with your elf-like grace, you climb up, you get over the balcony, and you find there is a shawl over a chair, and you quickly like just lean into the chair, put the shawl over you and the cloak, so it looks like just like basically a mess of laundry that's been left on it. And you sit there and you listen, and you listen. You wait for a quarter of an hour, half, 3/4 of an hour, and then you hear the of footsteps coming down the alleyway, and you listen out. Just give me 1 second here. I need to make sure I get this right. Apologies. Okay. All right. Very good. So you go up and you listen in, and the
I have
word.
a means. I have a mean. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a knock, and the door just the kind of you get the sense that the ice slit just opens up, and there's a word, and you recognize it. It's in your language. It's in the Southern Immune language, and you recognize it as Umbral 6. Just write that. Umbral 6.
Interesting.
And then the door, gunk, 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 heavy locks come off it, and the door opens up, and then is quietly closed down behind, and gunk, gunk, gunk. Person is in there, and what do you do now? Do you just wait until they leave?
My gut tells me because Umbral is this is 6. If there's a single word like mushroom, then yeah, it could just be the normal. But the fact there's a number there makes me feel like it's individualized. Maybe. And Hendrik is above all else a very patient person. He has plenty of time. So I'm gonna stay up there, and I mean I'll listen in for the next person who comes through, and verify that this is a common password before I go down and give myself away with fucking up the password.
All right. Okay. This person leaves after a case of like less than 10 minutes. Another moments of time go past. You hear another one knock at the door, and you hear Umbral 23. And then the door opens up and they go in. And you've been there for around 2 hours now, and you've heard two individuals go in with white robes.
Okay. 23, huh? Okay. I'm gonna wait 5 minutes after that fellow has gone in,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to jump down.
Mm-hmm.
I will cast the enhance ability on myself,
Mm-hmm.
charisma based,
Yeah.
and I will knock on the door.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. The eye slit opens up again, and you see a pair of eyes looking at you. They look they're don't how do I put this? They look slightly beady at you, staring at you intently, orange. Can't
I'm gonna
make out
ham
a
it.
nostril.
I'm gonna ham up the acting a bit. I'm gonna look over my shoulder and make sure I'm not being followed.
Uh-huh.
All that crap. I'm whisper, maybe a bit too quiety,
Uh-huh.
a bit too quiet. Just I'm both 32.
There's a pause. The eye slit closes shut. Ka-dink, ka-dink, ka-dink. The door just opens up inward, and you see just a dark grey room in front of you with some incense candlelight in this basement. No natural light coming in at all. What do you do?
Do I see the doorman?
You see the doorman. You see a mass of a person to the corner of the door in dark
I would,
dark leathers.
I would like to roll insight to like see if he is on edge, if he is like luring
Mhm.
me into a trap or not.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Because if it's like, oh yeah, this has the right password, it has different feel from this guy had the wrong password. We're gonna bring him in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and insight I have advantage because race thing. 23
23.
didn't get.
This is a foot soldier. This is a guard, and he has a cudgel in the you can see in his belt, and probably has more weapons in his garb. But he's very much like, come in and close the door, and I'm just
Yeah,
here to make sure you don't start any trouble, kind of thing.
that was good. Yeah, I'll quickly skitter in, like a
Mhm.
criminal would,
Yeah.
and then I'll just go down. I'll go in.
Yeah, you go in the hallway. It's got empty racks of old wine caskets, like or where wine barrels would be. It looks to be of some kind of like business that collapsed maybe 20 years ago, and there's dust everywhere and there's flowing. There's some candlelight and incense burning in there, and the figure kind of just walks behind you as there is a small. There's like an upturned barrel, it's like standing on its feet, and there's two chairs, and there's a figure in the other chair. Um, they are wearing just regular day-to-day clothes, nothing special, nothing looking hidden. And it is a human man, probably about late 40s, appears balding head, mutton chop at his side, a deep scar tissue on his left cheek runs down into his neck. And he looks at you. He just nods towards the seat.
I'll take a seat.
Mm-hmm. The guy has closed the door. The door got closed behind you, and he stands about 15 feet back, right at the door. Doesn't like stand right behind you or anything like that. The guard. You find your way here, all right then?
Yes. No trouble.
Good. And you weren't followed?
No, I made sure.
Goes into his jacket, his jerkin, and takes out a small glass bottle, which has like some rolled up parchment inside of it, and sets it on the barrel in front of you. Here's the instructions. Be on time.
I nod and I take the thing. This is not what Hendrik thought this would be. No shit. Hendrik stepped into something big. Hendrik's like, oh, it's a speakeasy. It's like, no, there's a plot. Okay. Yeah, Hendrik will take it. You said it's a vial? Is like the note
It's
in
like
the
it's like a
vial?
bottle. It's a bottle. It's a note
A note
written
in a
up and put
bottle?
into a glass bottle. Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, Hendrik will pocket that.
As you- Um, anything else to add?
No. And Hendrik
I-
will stand up.
An eyebrow raises at that. He just There's just a pause of friction in the air. And then he asks, "Are you new?"
I am new. And Hendrik will, feign embarrassment.
Well, whoever brought you in didn't teach you the correct mannerisms for saying goodbye. You're supposed to say, "He shall rise," before you leave an agent of ourselves.
I appreciate the guidance. In that case, then, he shall rise. And I'll do a little bow.
Strange one you are. Just be on fucking time. And he
Understood.
nods towards the guy at the door. Make as you get, this guy's huge. Like, this guy's about 7.5 foot tall, muscled but covered in like dark robes, and his eyes these like little orange orbs. Can you make a history check for me, please?
A
Is it really
history
bad?
check. 23.
Okay.
How many fingers do they have?
You haven't seen much of these humanoid creatures before because they're pretty rare, and they tend to be kind of like restricted to kind of visitor areas of port cities, and there's not a lot of your natural citizenry that is this race, but this seems to be an orc.
It used to be an orc?
It seems to be an orc. It looks like an
It
orc.
seems
His
to
eyes.
be an orc. Okay.
No, it seems to be an orc. It seems to be a guy dressed as an orc but hiding his frame because orcs are very rare, and probably someone who is an orc does not get recognized as being an orc. But yeah, he's got faint green skin on his hands.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, DM.
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, you leave.
I'm gonna go back to the. I'm gonna make sure
Yeah.
I'm not being followed.
Sure. Give me a perception check. 15. And you feel that confidently you're not being followed. And with that, you return to the Bed of Roses, and
Yeah.
do you wait for all your allies to come back then, basically, in the evening?
Yeah, I think he's gonna return back to the Bed of Roses and just like sit with a single mug of beer and just try and like
Yeah.
calm himself and like center his mind.
Okay. All right. So you do that, and your allies slowly, one by one, start to enter through the door, joining you. First, probably Leonok, then into Thoric, Torkel, and Stoty finally, as your party is reconvened.
Okay.
Lerenok is noticeably out of it. He's very sort of quiet and not self-absorbed, but like he just sticks to himself at the minute.
Mm.
That's
Well, everybody's fucked up.
with the comfort of people I know around me, I would like to open the. Wait, no. It's in
Do
a
you want to do this in the bedroom again?
I would no. We can do it in the fucking tavern. It's fine. I would like
Well, if it explodes.
to. Yeah, no. I would like to examine this thing before for like magical seals or some shit before. So if I like
Sure.
open it, explodes and kills the party, everyone will sitting at a table.
Oh, so in
roll
case it's a
open-
bomb, you want to open it with the rest of us around. Gotcha.
Investigation.
Yeah, make an investigation.
Funny.
It is a cork, lapping a bottle containing it, and there seems to be just a piece of parchment inside, which is so rolled up you can't see like the inclination of the text on the parchment until it's opened.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll pop it. I'll pop the cork.
Pops open. Doop.
Yep.
And yeah, the small piece of parchment, you can roll it out onto the table.
I would like to read the parchment. Yeah. Do you want to do that?
You unfurl it, but think of it like a receipt, like a CVS receipt.
Yeah.
And you unfurl it.
12 feet of parchment.
Yeah, it's a small piece of parchment about 2 inches across and about 4 inches long, and it is in a language you do not recognize. It is not in Southern Immune nor any of the parent dialects, tongues of it.
So, does anyone recognize this and I'll just pass it around. This language.
No one in your party recognizes this language. It is like etched lines and half circles. It almost looks like diagrams of like moons, like crescents, and
God
um
damn it, we got another cult.
yeah.
Cults, fucking cults everywhere.
Mm.
Okay, well, I'll just go to the police tomorrow.
How do we keep ending up stumbling our way into cults?
I think these cults just aren't very good at hiding themselves. I think that's it's
yeah.
not us, it's the cults.
Oh,
now,
okay, good.
now
It's
I
not, it's not the
That's a relief.
27 that you rolled.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
fair.
is now the time, Cypher, that I should reveal that I'm a cultist, or
Yeah.
Shit,
As I exit this,
I just lost my weapon.
Yeah.
we're all in a cult.
You
No,
basically all are.
It's
yeah.
not a cult because the government it's government mandated and government. Oh, it's part of the government.
we don't pay tax, so it's not a cult.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure the only difference between a cult and a religion is general acceptance.
Pretty
Oh
much,
yes, Cypher, I see what you're doing. True.
Yeah.
I do have that slot. Actually, it's a ritual. I can do it by ritual. I comprehend languages.
Yeah.
Do it. God.
Okay.
Comprehend this language.
How does this look for your character
Comprehend
casting?
these no.
First, I have to try to remember the ritual,
Mm-hmm.
which takes a little bit. It has an actual 5 minutes onto the whole process.
Yeah.
But then I finally remember the proper way of doing it, and it's mostly various prayers to Bahamut about sort of the seeking of knowledge, and that knowledge should not be separated by simple matters such as different tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that he instills within me the ability to comprehend what's being written.
Yeah. So you feel the spell take hold, and all of you see that there's a dim silver light glow in Thoric's eyes as you rub your hand and start to touch over the language. Your hand recoils. It feels sour, and it feels like insects crawling on your fingertips where you touch the paper. And then you put your hand back, and you start to understand it. And as you start to read, there's just a confusion on Thoric's face, and strangeness, and a pit in his stomach, which makes you guys uneasy because his face is an open book. And as you finish reading the piece of paper, you look up at your allies, we're going to end a session there.
Damn it.
Cool.
You
Yeah,
motherfucker.
It's the anime cliffhanger ending. This.
God damn it. You're getting so good at this shit as well.
It only took about 5.5 years.
It's the DM. I have to figure out what I need to come up with.
Yeah, dude, you literally just signed up for something you did not know.
Extended warranty.
I mean, you just accepted the cultist newsletter. Signed up for it now.
I just
You
want to
can't take
buy
your
some
name off for a
drugs,
year.
I swear.
No. You just thought you were gonna go in, bust some low-level drug den. Don't
Bus?
put your
What do you
way.
mean bus? No, I was gonna buy. What are you talking about?
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
You buy to then have the evidence to bust.
Yeah, I'll do it. Today is a day of rest, man. I don't arrest people on my day of rest. I was gonna come in tomorrow.
Oh, reminds me of here in Ireland when a range of drugs were accidentally legal for the day, just given how the
Oh,
laws
yeah.
fell.
the loophole, I remember that day.
Yeah.
Right? How does that loophole work? What?
We'll look
No,
it up
don't-
later.
don't-
Yeah, thank you for the
Jeez,
session.
that was a while ago.
Yes, thank
I was
you.
in college when that happened.
So that was like what, like 4 years ago?
Um,
I think I was in secondary school when it happened.
when was that? Like maybe
thought it was in, like,
8
college.
years, 9 years ago.
Oh god, 5 years ago was the fucking 2019 was 5 years ago. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, what was it recently that someone posted that this film is 20 years old? And that's go fuck off, is it? Oh my god, it is. Hang on, I need to.
Lord of the Rings came out 23 years ago, guys.
Don't stop, Ryan.
We
Okay, I
started
can't
playing D
remember
and
seeing Lord of the
D.
Rings in cinema. So.
We started playing D&D 5.5 years ago.
Yeah, well,
No wait. No.
longer than that.
No, 6.5, 7.
Yeah, it's longer than 5. Yeah.
Yeah.